Now joined by Minister Ng, the Minister of Small Business, Export Promotion and International Trade. Minister, nice to be able to catch up with you on this very important topic that I think a lot of small businesses are really wondering what will be next. What is the plan?
Well, thank you so much, Catherine. It's terrific to be here. And to small businesses across this country who are watching, I want to assure you that the work to support you through this difficult time continues. Of course, the current rent assistance program for commercial rent relief, it continues until the end of this month. We've done that extension, but we also know that right now, businesses are not back at 100%. Not all businesses are back at 100%, and yet your fixed costs like rent is. So know that we are working very hard, listening to you and working on adapting to what you're going to need, because we know you're going to need that further support, and we're working on that. Listening very carefully to businesses across the country.
And Minister, many have suggested changing the program. There are many small businesses who want the funding to go directly to them. There is the view that there should be a replacement as well, perhaps of the program the way it has been executed. What kind of details, when you say that you're listening to these small businesses, these individuals, et cetera, what can we expect in terms of the change of the program?
Well, I think what businesses can expect, and what we have done all along, is be really responsive to their needs during this time. Whether it is the support to help keep their staff on payroll through the wage subsidy, which we've extended until the end of the year, or making sure that they have some of that working capital that is absolutely necessary through the CEBA loan. This fixed cost like rent, we know is a challenge for many, many businesses. And having the opportunity to speak to many chambers across the country, many businesses in all sectors across the country, and many of those vibrant main streets, it's something we continue to, and we're committed to working with businesses so that we can keep supporting you, because COVID-19 is something that we continue to live with rather, and that balance between the health of Canadians and ensuring that in economic recovery, our small businesses continue to be supported is the work that we will continue to do.
Are there any plans to cut out the landlord and fund directly the small businesses?
Well, I want to say to businesses that we have been hearing you very directly. Rent, as many of your viewers will know, is an area of provincial responsibility. It is an area where we have worked with our provincial partners and territorial partners in delivering this support to our businesses. It's really good to see that many, many provinces across the country have used tools at their disposal, like moratoriums on evictions. That is very helpful. I think we need to keep working together to be sure that we are helping our businesses across the country, in particular our small businesses, that is going to need that continued support as we manage through COVID-19.
But as we know it right now, I mean, what kind of changes might we see? Even when we take a look at the equation, the program is 50% of rent covered as long as the rent is reduced by 75% and sales are down. We can appreciate that finding the right equation is so difficult because businesses are so vast and different in terms of their needs and where they even pay rent. And you've got to also respect the commercial land owners as well. But having said that, when you look at the program and how it has been received, give us a change perhaps that you are really looking at seriously?
Well, what we're looking at, and what we always look at, is the right, adapting the support so that they are responsive to businesses. We know that in speaking with businesses, that the kinds of things that they're looking for is to keep their operations going in this recovery is help around their workforce. It's a significant expense. Some help on working capital, which I know many businesses have taken advantage of the CEBA loan. Today, I think it's roughly about 730,000 businesses and other businesses that have also taken liquidity that's a little larger than that. But fixed costs like rent is for sure an issue that we need to ensure that we are adapting. And I want to assure Canadian businesses that we understand right now where your business is at, and particularly as the economy reopens. We know your business is not back 100% for many businesses, and speaking to those businesses in particular, I want to assure you that we are continuing to listen to you and working very hard to ensure that we continue to support you during this time.
And with the recovery continuing and continuing perhaps slowly to be prudent, to keep everybody safe. And at the same time, of course, we know that the numbers are increasing here in Ontario. It is going to take time. So what's the approach, the balancing act approach to supporting small businesses and at the same time not pushing the country further and further into deficit, even though that's been the direction that we're going in? And many people would say that that is the right approach. But how are you balancing that from a small business perspective?
Well, helping businesses open their doors and open their doors safely is the work that we are doing directly with businesses. I think about the Post Promise, which is a partnership between the federal government, working collaboratively with many of the private sector, including the Business Council of Canada and the Retail Council, who are a couple of the signatories onto the Post Promise. But that's actually about helping businesses restart their businesses, and to do so safely by taking, the Post Promise, which are public health measures of just keeping you and your employees safe, working with the Canadian chambers across the country on the Business Resilience Network, which we are doing, which is about sharing information and helping businesses, again, reopen safely. But our government Safe Restart program is a $19 billion program to provinces and territories so that there is increased capacity for testing and contact tracing and PPEs and making sure that there is adequate funding for childcare, as an example, so that we can get more people back to work. So it is a whole of government approach, and it is that one where we balance the need to continue to keep Canadians safe, taking direction, health directions, so that we can keep fighting COVID-19, but at the same time to safely reopen the economy and ensure that we're supporting businesses along the way in this reopening is what we will keep working on and keep doing.
Do you anticipate more or less money being designated towards small businesses?
I would say that small businesses in this country are the absolute heart and backbone of Canada's economy. They make up 90% of all businesses, and they are enormous job creators. So to make sure that they're supported, like through programs like the wage subsidy or the lending program, or fixed costs in the case of rent support, we're going to have to keep working with businesses as we go through COVID-19. I think that the uncertainty that has been brought by COVID-19 is absolutely and has been difficult for businesses. And to them, I thank them, because it has taken all of Team Canada to work together to flatten this curve. But as you pointed out, cases are changing, are increasing, and we're going to have to stay completely vigilant on the health front, while at the same time ensuring that our economy continues to have its fighting chance in this recovery. And will we support small businesses in this? Absolutely, we must.